All right, you ready, Keys?
Let's get it.
Get on your feet, Tiger fans. Let's get loud. Let's go. Let's get active. Let's go.
Yo. It's your boy Be Easy.
It's your boy V-Keyz, and this is the
You Played Though podcast. All right, Keys, man, we back, man. Episode 3, man. We getting 3 in the books.
Yes, sir. We back, man, and we officially have some football in the books now that we can yap about a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt good to have football back on TV, man. Man, it's just a different vibe when you got that pigskin out there, man. But man, let's go ahead and toast to episode 3.
Episode 3. Here we come. Hey.
Yep. All right, Keys, man. So we just saw week 0 of college football. This is officially week 1, so we're gonna get into that. But we got a little appetizer, something to hold us over real quick. And that noon game, man, Florida State against Georgia Tech. We had a conversation last pod, man. You had some things to say about that.
Oh, I absolutely did. You had Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Dublin, Ireland, opening up the college football season. And I accurately predicted. I said, do not be surprised if Georgia Tech keeps this a close game. Do not be surprised if they pull the upset.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least have it a close game down the stretch. Lo and behold, them boys went in and got that upset in Ireland.
Man.
So
Georgia Tech is one of those trap teams, man. If you're sleeping on them, you'll mess around and have a tough game on your hands. Now, I just want to say this, man. We went over. We watched the game. It was tight for most of the game. Georgia Tech was a 11.5 point dog in this matchup. They were tied going into halftime, and man, let's go ahead and talk about it, man. So, you know, a lot has been said about DJ and his performance. He was at 70% completion percentage, but we all know too well the performance that we saw looked very familiar.
like a carbon copy from a lot of stuff we saw in Death Valley, a lot of stuff we saw when he was wearing that orange and white. You know, he had a lot of short passes as usual. They didn't. I think I saw maybe 2 passes that went more than
10 yards,
10, 12 yards,
yeah.
maybe 2, and they were not accurate.
Yeah.
So it does say a lot when this is your 3rd program. And Mike Norvell is supposed to be a guru, correct? Is he supposed to be somebody that can coach these quarterbacks up and all that? And he's not letting this dude loose?
Yeah.
And game 1 against Georgia Tech, unranked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's some concern there, even though, it's a long season. Yeah, we get that. But there are some concerning things that came out of that for Florida State.
Yeah. A lot of people picked them to win the ACC. One notable thing, a lot of people have been talking about Mike Norvell. But one thing that I noticed is a lot of people pick Florida State's defensive line to be one of the best defensive lines in the country, and to get almost 200 yards ran on you on Georgia Tech. I mean, it just didn't seem. I didn't see it.
Nah,
I don't see it.
I mean, Georgia Tech first drive, they gassed Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
The first drive, they gassed them. So
set the tone.
And this ain't the Joe Hamilton Yellow Jackets of the 1999 early. This ain't the triple option even Georgia Tech. This you have a Hines King quarterback who came in underrated. I think he played a really good game. I think. So Florida State defensive line is not looking to what we heard, what it is on paper. In this week 0 matchup. And
this adds a little bit more support to your comments earlier during the season that DJ. We've seen a lot from him. To think that you can go in the portal and just insert a quarterback. It's not as easy as people make it seem, right? So this is just more evidence of that. But we're gonna see. So with Georgia Tech getting that win and Florida State getting that loss, a lot of questions have been asked, and right now the polls have Clemson as a 23-point favorite to come out of the ACC.
Well, 23
point percentage, yeah
23.9,
23%, yeah.
That changed pretty quickly after that Florida State game. They had Florida State on the pedestal, which I said before the season. I'm not understanding why they're coming in at number 10, and we see why. We saw why. But it is a long season, so but if we're looking at Florida State schedule for the rest of the ACC. They got us at home. They got to go to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They got let me see. They got at Notre Dame, which they don't count for the conference, but
Yep.
ACC alone, they're already in trouble.
Already in trouble. They got to play North Carolina. I mean,
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like we'll see how the season progresses, but was
not impressed
by any by the product they put out on that field.
Yeah. They got another opportunity here on Labor Day to get an ACC win, taking on Boston College. So we're gonna see if we can see some of what they predicted at the beginning of the season. So another game, notable game. I didn't really watch this one, Keyz, but the SMU Mustangs they squeaked by against Nevada Wolfpack, 29-24.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one either. But yeah, 29-24. Well, that's their introduction to the ACC, even though it's not an ACC opponent. First game as an ACC team, you get a W. So that they start off on a good foot. So I mean, we'll see how they can kind of progress, and we'll see what they have. We'll see what horses they have in the stable. Get it?
Yeah.
SMU.
Now I will say this: Nevada led for most of the game. They weren't able to score in the fourth quarter, so they got outscored by 16 points. But their quarterback is dual threat, man. His name is, coincidentally, Brennan Lewis. So I was like, okay, let's see what he's talking about, man. He had 77 yards rushing, but they just couldn't do much in the fourth quarter. So SMU came out with the dub.
Like I said before, I don't see SMU coming in and being any kind of contender in the ACC. I mean, they may can surprise some people here and there with playing a good half, put a good half together, but as far as something serious, I don't see that coming right in the ACC for them this year.
Yeah. All right, Tiger fans, man, we get into it, man. This week we have our first game against the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs down there in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're excited. We're excited for it. I know that a lot of Georgia fans are excited for it, and there's been a whole lot of talk. We got 5 days of college football starting on Thursday to Monday to Labor Day. So long weekend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we just want to run through some of the notable games that we got on the docket and just talk about some of the lines. That first game that I think a lot of people are going to be tuning into just to see how Dion and Shador Shiloh and Travis Hunter, how they've progressed since last year. Maybe a little bit of a disappointment, but they're taking on North Dakota State Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have offensive line, it ain't gonna mean much again this year. So, but yeah, we'll see what Primetime and the boys do. Shout out to Shador. Hope he have a good season.
Yep, the 9.5 favorites in that game. Saturday, the primetime game, well, not primetime game, but the kickoff to college football for the Clemson Tigers, 12 o'clock. Like I just said, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, ABC.
High noon.
And
we felt like that was disrespectful, but we can talk about that later. But high noon, and of course, Tiger fans, we're gonna dig all up into that one.
Yeah.
Shortly here.
Yep. And right now they got that line. It's come down a little bit, Keyz, man. It was 14, so they gave us about a half a point.
Oh, they gave us 0.5. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody believe.
Yeah. And one of the rivalry games, man, Florida is going down there to the swamp, man.
And that's early. Like a Miami, Florida, that's early.
Mm-hmm.
Miami opened up as a 2.5 point favorite. So they got some big things in store with Cam Ward coming in. He got some expectations on him, so we'll see what he can bring to the U.
Yeah. I mean, I like that they're going ahead and getting some of these games out of the way. That way they can really understand, hey, where does your team stack up, right? So we can go ahead and either get Miami or Florida up out of there. You got Notre Dame at Texas A&M, and a lot is being talked about Texas A&M being a good team. They got a new coach. We're going to really see what they got at 7:30 on Saturday night.
Yeah, the primetime game for Saturday night, Notre Dame at A&M. And A&M's coming out as a 3-point favorite right now? Okay.
Without much known. And then on Sunday, we rarely get a Sunday college football game, Keyz, man. I'm kind of excited about this one.
Yeah, this should be a decent one here.
Another primetime game, 7:30 on the 1st. USC is taking on LSU, man.
Yeah, post Caleb Williams era, post Jaden Jaden Williams area, LSU. So we'll see how they can do with, two of the best quarterbacks that in the college football over the last several years. We'll see where the programs are at. Right out the gate Sunday, 7:30 Eastern time.
Yep. We know a lot about that type of change. All right, and then Monday we talked about it earlier. Florida State is taking on Boston College. So Boston College is going down to Tallahassee, and we'll see how Florida State can rebound at home on the second primetime game.
Yeah, they're favored by 17, which that could be a little hefty, but they'll most likely they might pull away a little later in this game. They might start off a little sluggish, but we'll see.
Yep. Boston College has had historically a decent defense, but I'm not expecting much.
Nah, I'm not either.
All right, Keyz, man, it's time to go ahead and get to it, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what we came here for. This is Uplayedtho podcast, where we talk all things Clemson football. So we're going to go ahead and get into this big-time matchup we got with them dogs, man, them Georgia Bulldogs, which has been the preeminent team in college football for the last 3 years. Last time we met up with them, man, 2021, DJ, he scored the only points of the game, throwing a pick six. 10-3. And since that game, Clemson and Georgia have gone two separate ways. Georgia won the first of two back-to-back national championships. We kind of slumbered that season, and then we lost more than we have in the last 3 years than we have in the past five, between 2015 and 2020, all them years combined. So two different ways we're going right now, but this we'll see where we at, man.
Yeah. It's a good test, and I tell you the truth, man. A lot of teams may not want to play the number one team. The first really out the gate, everybody wants to have a tune-up game, but this is really going to be the barometer to show us where we are. Like you said, Keyz, we took that loss in 2021, and our defense held up. One thing we can consistently say is our defense held up. They only gave up 3 points, right? Yep. We just couldn't get on the board. We had opportunities. I remember Braylon Spector got an interception. I think it was maybe third quarter. We had great field position. We just could not capitalize. We just couldn't capitalize.
That pick. So that was that. So if I gotta have some keys, some V-Keyz, some keys to victory for this Georgia game for the Tigers, man, coming out.
Well, let's do this, Keyz. On these keys to victory, man. I just want the fans to know, man, we understand college football here, and we are not biased. We're going to be open and honest about how we feel about our team, right?
Yeah.
So when we give these keys to victory, man, let's talk about the areas you think we're going to have the most success and the areas where we're going to have the most challenges.
Yeah, so, and just for y'all to know, like, keys to victory don't mean that we'll predict the win for every team. That just means this is what they need to do to have the best chance at winning.
Yeah.
So, for Clemson, coming out Saturday, we do have a couple injuries in the secondary. With Shelton Lewis, I'm not sure. Him and Jaden Lucas, I'm not sure their status. So I would say an area of weakness could potentially be some secondary, because if you do remember in the bowl game against Kentucky, we got chunked up.
Yeah.
So we got big plays on us often in that Kentucky game, and this is Carson Beck. We talking about he'll be expected to be a first-round quarterback.
He's got experience.
His draft. So I would say an area of weakness could potentially be some areas of the secondary at times. I'm not going to say, but it is Carson Beck. It's a great. They still have great receivers. You lose Brock Bauer, the best tight end I've seen in college football, maybe ever, personally. To the Raiders, So I'm not sure what I know. Georgia still have weapons.
Yeah, they got a few dogs at tight end.
Yeah, and they still have weapons there. So, I am confident in our secondary. The Khalil Barnes back there, the R.J. Mickens, the Avion Terrell on one side. So I do have confidence in us. Yeah, we got returners with experience. Yeah. So then let me flip that and say an area of strength, I think, will be the front seven. Okay. Of course, we got Peter Woods and T.J. Parker anchoring the line. So I think Peter Woods he might dibble and dabble, a la Christian Wilkins. Yeah. 15, play a little DT and then go outside, play a little DE. Play a little N a little bit. So I think they got him down to 3. What, he like 310 or 300? Yeah, he lean. Just so, yeah. He lean and got speed. Still agile. So I would say him, and then we got All-American Barrett Carter coming back in the middle of that defense, the quarterback of the defense. Which I said previously, he had one of the best games I've seen by a Clemson defender in that bowl game against Kentucky.
Yeah.
So with him handling the middle with Wade Woodaz, we got Sammy Brown waiting over there on the sideline. So I feel good about our front seven and how we can, maybe can manage the run a little bit. And we'll see if ETN play. We'll see what the ramifications. We do get some news that a Georgia running back is out having surgery, so they are down one back for this game. So that's a little bit of depth.
Yeah, and I think Trevor is the actual starter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all know the news that Georgia just they can't stay out of trouble, man. So
Yeah.
I think he's going to start getting some pressure to make some decisions on that front. But I agree with you, Keyz. I think one of the things that I want to say is going to be most important, like you said, the front seven. Georgia has been known to be good in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, right? Stopping the run, I think, is going to be really important, and getting off the field in short yardage situations, right? Third and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, we got to be able to get off the field.
Yep.
And offensively, we need to be able to push the ball down the field, and we got to get in the end zone. If we could win the time of possession, and this is just my prediction, right? If we win the time of possession, I feel like we win the game because we keep their offense off the field, get their defense fatigued to give us some opportunities. So,
Okay.
how do you feel about, from an offensive standpoint, how do you feel about what we have, our strengths, and what areas do you think that we need to definitely hone in on?
Well, offensively, number one, take care of the rock. That's number one. If you
So
don't got
no
a rock in your
turnovers.
hand, you not scoring no points. You're not doing that. And we saw all too much of that too often last year. The Miami game, North Carolina State game, Duke starting off. We fumbling at the 1. We fumbling at the 2. We can't hit a field goal. If you hold on to the ball, better things will happen. We were up there in the nation with first downs, yardage, but none of that matters if you can't score. Our red zone efficiency was, bottoms of the nation. You know what I mean? Down in that range. So, number one, take care of the ball. Number two, we've heard some great things about the offensive line in camp. It's time to put up a shut up. Matt Luke has been a good hire from what we're hearing, an offensive line coach. So. If we can win some wars, this is Georgia though, so I know they got some boys up front. They always gonna have some boys up front. So if we can at least win some of them trenches up front, man, like if it's 60-40, 55-45, you know what I mean? If like the Notre Dame
like
last year,
that plays in our favor.
That if we can open up some holes from Maffa like we did against Notre Dame, that would be great. That would be ideal. And like you said, push on what you said now about pushing the ball downfield. We heard about the wide receiver room all year. We talked about it. The two highly touted boys coming in. We got Bryant Westcoat, TJ Moore. Are they going to spread the field? Are they going? We got Cole Turner healthy. He's the fastest player. We got Antonio back healthy. Adam Randall's a grown man. Is he going to be like T.O.?
Yeah.
Kind of body type out there. So can Cade have enough time to scramble in the pocket? And also another dark horse element of the offense.
Jake Bringstool?
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
But I was going to mention Cade using more of his legs. He's fairly athletic.
Yeah,
So
he's got some agility.
He done put on a little weight. So I think we will see a little bit more Cade running the ball this year on design runs. And
and one thing that I do want to say is, man, I just hope that we can stay healthy. We need Maffa. We need Cade. I mean, we need everybody. But I just want us to come out of this game healthy. And to be honest, we all know Georgia is the favorite to run the table, right? Yep. We've been talking about it. They got a tough schedule, and I know they're going to get up for us. It's the first game, and it's in Georgia, so I definitely got confidence that we can make it. We can make it a close game, and it's going to come down to me. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and being able to convert. Right.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll say this too. Going back to the defensive side of the ball real quick. If we can limit the explosive plays from Georgia, and limit the explosive plays on the ground and in the air, that gives us a great chance too. Because like the Kentucky game, we can't get no shootout.
No.
Do we have the horses for a shootout? We don't know. We're yet to be proven on the field. So
Well, we definitely don't want Georgia's defense to feed off of their offense because we know how that works all too well.
Yep.
So we talked about this as well, Keyz. I know a lot of podcasts has mentioned this, and I know this has been on ESPN and everywhere. But Garrett Riley, this is his second year.
Yep.
Right. Last year, I'm not gonna say we don't give passes. Right. That's not what we do. But at the same time, that wasn't his offense like that. He's coming in, he's trying to get the schemes and everything together, learn where his weapons are so he can, draw things up the way he wants, but he's using what he has, right?
Yeah.
So with another year with Cade, with these weapons, receivers, what I really want to see is the creativity.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
I feel like in the, last year, you're working with the weapons that you have, and maybe you're a little, I don't even know what to call it, mundane with the offense, just making sure everybody knows what to do.
Redundant.
Yeah. I want to take opportunities and take chances, but at the same time, what I don't want to do is what Nick Saban did in the championship game, is out here faking field goals and faking punts and stuff. Like, I don't want to get to that.
Nah, and speaking of Nick Saban, I will say this about Georgia and the Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. They have a history of coming up short in big games there. The Natty to Alabama, and then the SEC Championship game last year to Alabama. So this is a stadium. Yes, in Atlanta is basically a home game for Atlanta. I mean for Georgia. Not down the street from Athens, and Clemson's not far. Right out 85 too. But of course we in Georgia, and this is the A. So and they've had they've lost a couple of big games there in recent memory. So maybe I don't know if some of that Mercedes-Benz mojo could work in our favor.
I mean, we'll see. But one thing that I do think hurts, even though it wasn't us, it wasn't Clemson. Florida State losing the way they lost, I think that is locker room energy for Georgia, right? Like they can't come in and not take us seriously because they're gonna get nobody's counting us in to win. We have a farther spread than
they did against Georgia.
Georgia Tech, right? And they lost. So I think the defense and the offense is gonna get up. Kirby Smart, I don't know how you feel. Is he the best? Is he the best coach in college football right now?
Yeah, I give it to Kirby now. And just to flip the table, we know how the other side of that coin feel last year, coming in number 9, going to Duke and getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we've been on the other side of being favored, and we're going in, top 10 preseason, and next thing you know, like we down 2 scores, you know what I mean? It's, it can, them tables can turn quick. So that's why for this game, I see a lot of pundits, have Georgia by 3 touchdowns, and I get it. It's Georgia. They won their last game by 60 points.
Yeah,
against Florida State, against the ACC.
Yeah, they curb stomped Florida State. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, man. So, what? Give me one more thing on the offense, because you did mention Jake Brennerstool, and I didn't even bring that name up, but he is, I believe, one of the best tight ends, not only in the league, but could potentially be one of the better tight ends in the nation. Yeah. He had a great year last year. So what's some factors that he can factor into the game for us? So
I'll say Jake Brennerstool, man, he's one of the better tight ends that we've had. I mean, we've had our Dwayne Allens, we've had our Jordan Leggett's. I mean, we can go down the list, but to me, Jake, he's a big target. One, I do think that hopefully he can help in the passing game, blocking too, right? Yeah. Yep. So what I would love to see is they establish him early as a run blocker, and then do a little fake with that, right? And have him go out into the flat, because he does have some wheels on him. So yeah, I think from a security blanket standpoint, check downs and things like that, he may be able to get the rock and do something with it. So definitely need him to be a big impact on this game. I think if we have him kind of in the flat area a little bit to keep the defense honest, then we can take an opportunity downfield, because we got some speed downfield.
Yeah, we do. And like you said, it's up to Garrett Riley. Hey, where you gonna put the toys out on the field, man? it's your second year in it. You know, had all off season to play with it with some new weapons, some new toys. TJ Summer got here a little later than the spring, but he's one that we'll be looking at to add some instant flavor, to this offense, man.
So as far as just to get your prediction on this, Keyz, as far as we know we have the weapons at receiver. We know we got Maffa back again this year. I feel like Maffa needs to have a 1,000-yard plus season this year for us to get to where we want to get.
Absolutely.
Does he? Do you see him getting $150?
No. Georgia. I respect Georgia's run defense too much for to say Maffa or anybody for that matter that's on Georgia's schedule getting $150 on them. But I would say a good number to be at. A good number to be at would be, and that's if we're getting complimentary football. A good number rushing wise for Maffa would be 75 to 100 yards.
75 to 100 yards. I think that's respectable. Especially if we have a lot going on with sweeps and things like that. Because I think we're going to use, to be honest, I think a dark horse in this game is probably going to be Antonio, man.
Okay,
I think
he do.
Yeah,
he do, man.
I think he's the one. He's like the Ferrari, right? That you just pull out and say, hey, man, we need something real quick to the outside, and kind of do a little sweep and let him take off with it, right?
Hey, and don't sleep on Tyler Brown. A true freshman season last year, had a great season, and I tell you what, hey, that boy is a monster in college football 25. For all my college football 25 fans out there, that's rocking with the Tigers. Hey, Tyler Brown, hey, he be taking punts back. He be doing all that. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
that's another thing, Keyz. I did want to say this. We also can't lose the special teams game either, man. We got to be able to cover on punt, and we got to be able to have some good returns.
Yeah, and that's something that's been missing from Clemson in a long time.
Yeah.
Last time we had a kick return for a touchdown, probably C.J. Spiller. Probably something after that, but I think Amari Rogers the last punt return at Boston College, and that was several years ago. So
I'm trying to think, did Ray ever get him one?
He did have one that got called back. I think it was on South Carolina State.
Yeah, but I say that to say this, man. Field position, I think, is going to be the key to the game, man.
Yeah, man. So what we doing next, man? What we doing for them listeners next, man? Where we going?
I think this is the hardest part about this, Keyz, man.
All right. So
all right, man. It's time for the score prediction, man.
Okay, you want me to pop it off?
Yeah, go ahead and pop it off, man.
Here we go, man. With everything that we done said, we are Tigers, hardcore Tigers, but we're not biased, man. We call the game like we see it. Respect every opponent that we come across, and again, Georgia's been the best team in the sport for 3 years. So, with that being said, man, I do believe it'll be a hard-fought game, better than most people think. I see it being close for 3.5 quarters. We kind of hanging in there, maybe maybe midway through the fourth quarter, and maybe Georgia has maybe like a little bit more depth than we do at certain positions. And our area of failure last year was special teams in the kicking game, outside the Kentucky game where he hit 3 field goals. But we do got a new kicker, a freshman kicker who's the all-time high school leader in field goals. So
he the new BT Potter?
We'll see if he can come right in. But I think I got to give Georgia the benefit of the doubt. They've been there, they've done it. We have yet to prove ourselves against a worthy opponent. In recent years, other than, we had some good wins last year. So, Notre Dame, North Carolina ranked wins. But I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go Georgia 28-24. It's tough for me to say that, man, but I'm going to respect us and give us the line and all that. So
I like that, Keyz. Man.
So what you thinking? Be easy.
So we got a lot to be happy about. We have a lot of great players on our team. We know Georgia's great. One thing I will say, I think that 14-point line, that 13.5-point line is a little disrespectful
Yeah.
considering what we have, and I know the team has been working hard, and we have some awesome talent. We went in the ACC this year. I'm gonna put that out there. But Keyz, I feel like I gotta agree with you. Georgia has a lot. We're going down to Georgia. I feel like we're going to be able to do some great things on offense, and I think the defense is going to be able to show up. So, from a score prediction perspective, I'm kind of on the lines where you were, right? I think it's going to be Clemson 28, Georgia 31.
Okay.
And I think it's going to come down to the fact that, one, I don't know what our kicking game is going to be like, and I think that, if our defense holds up and Georgia has to kick field goals, I think that's one area where they might have the advantage on us.
Yeah. Okay. I respect that. And look, man, we could be overshooting it because the last matchup we had, nobody scored a touchdown offensively.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could be overshooting it,
And
it could be a slug. It could be like a 17-14er, you know what I mean, or something like that. But
with this whole with all our comments all aggregated together, I will say this: it's going to take Clemson to have some really creative, explosive plays
yep.
for us to come out victorious. If we get into a shooting match out with Georgia, or a run game for run game matchup with Georgia, I don't think that plays to our strengths. So,
okay, I respect that, and you heard it. You heard our score predictions here on Uplayedtho podcast, man. We appreciate y'all lending us an ear.
Yeah.
Hit us up on YouTube and Instagram. Uplayedtho. That's UPLAYEDTHO. So Uplayedtho on
YouTube, all social media platforms, and all platforms where you get your podcast. Listen to us, man. And with that said, man,
drop us a comment, holla at us, and go Tigers, man.
we out.
We out.